Welcome back to episode 1, our first episode of Street Tours. Today we're going to be taking a tour of this street here, Fieldsview Road, located at the junction of Thompson Lane that direction and Butler Green that direction. Fieldsview Road was once the epicentre of cotton spinning industry with a total of 7 mills. It was also the local community hub of traders, from drapers to private fish dealers, and it was also the centre of a very controversial plan in the 1950s. So, without further ado, how this tour will work is you will see me going down the road, pointing out some of the history, some of the local history, some of the street name origin, where it comes from, and we'll start with showing you the original location of Fields Farm, which is located a bit down the road opposite Melrose Field, where we'll jump to now. So these new houses are behind us here on Fieldsview Road was roughly the site and the location of Fields Farm, a historical farm which survived until the road construction in the 1890s. On the 1893 map it still shown the farmhouse located just roughly off the road here. But all the road went through the original farm. And it was opposite Melrose Field, which we are just let's spin it around. It's just there. So that's Melrose Field. Where Melrose Mill and Ironworks used to be, but we'll cover that on a separate video. When the road was constructed in the 1890s, the road took its name from Fields Farm, and the new road part is symbolising that it was a new road through Fields Farm. It ran from Butler Green up to Denton Lane, junction with Cow Hill Lane. So next we're going to be starting from the bottom of Fieldsview Road, going up on the, I think it's best going up on the left hand side, and that's the side we're on now. Go up the left hand side of the road, have a look what's left there, tell you what businesses was on the left hand side, then we'll come back down on the right hand side. Yeah. So, on this left hand side here, you would have had Samuel Buckley's of Hollingwood, a limited carriers, just somewhere down the bottom near the bus stops and the medical practice. Then the next up from there you would have the Industrial Cooperative Society Limited branch, and then coming up further up towards these new houses here, you would have Gem Mill and Industrial Street, where you had Gem Mill cotton spinners. We're going to do the mills, the 7 mills, on a separate one because there's quite a lot to talk about. So we're just going to point out roughly where the mills was, and then we'll cover them on another video. Right, these houses here is known as the Spinners' Mews, and these were located. These are built on the former Gem Mill site in the late 2000s, around 2008, along with the new medical practice field New Road, which is just down there near the bus stop, and where the cooperative building used to be, and etc. just talked about. Then coming up here, you would have had Industry Street before you get to Lark Mill. That's where we'll talk about next. Right, where we're looking now is the site of the former Lark Cotton Spinning Company Limited, which is now an industrial estate. The mill was demolished prior to 1950s, I think, but we'll cover the dates of the demolition and construction in another one. And just roughly around here, you also would add a number for so you would add a number 31 Fieldview Road, Mrs. Elizabeth Hughes, shopkeeper, just around about this location, and this shop's now closed. Right, so here we are looking at Lark Mill Spinning and Dublin Company Limited, Cotton Spinners in Dublin. So that's where the Lark Mill is. It's now in multiple occupancy, and you can just about see Cotswold Avenue. Cotswold Avenue was constructed in the 1950s, and is named after the Cotswolds down south. And then you can see a clue to what we're going to be covering in the next side. On the right hand side there, Olive Tree Cafe, but we'll come to that later. Here we have 4th Avenue Gardens. 4th Avenue was constructed in 2 phases, with the latter phase being constructed in 1950s, and is named after the 5th of the 4th in Scotland. And then you'll have another row of terraces there going up to A1 Upholstery, where we're joining next. We're here at A1 Upholstery Limited. We don't know what the original uses in this building was, but it looks a nice, lovely building with a building there and then a secondary house to the side, known as 257 Fieldview Road. And next, this is the end of Fieldview Road. At this end, where the traffic lights are, it actually ends at the street sign just there. Right, we're at the last ever shop on Fieldview Road here, 286. And we'll be working right hand side back down to where we started. So 286 was James Kinder Hartley Undertakers in 1916, and then from 1916 to around 1950 it might have been the Undertakers. From 1950s it was at the back of this, and then now it's the South Chadderton news shop. So it's gone from Undertakers, which deal with the death, to smoking, which causes sometimes death, and then a newsagents. Yep. And then just behind me, let's just try and put this in your right. So yeah, you can just see the tower of our PS salt mill. It's first mill there, and that's Chatterton Mill. Which is currently being sought after new owners at the moment. Then you just, that shop there, 284, was Robert's Fittings shop. It was a little corner shop, that. As a little shopkeepers. So the next destination is 266. A hairdresser's. So let's have a look at 266. Right, so this row here is Bank Terrace, and it was built in 1892. So Bank Terrace ran from that door there to there, including the shop. Right, we are 266, just the white cream stone archway just now where the black cars. And that was Lots Partington. Whoopsie daisy, there we go, yeah. So there's 226, and that was Lot Partington hairdressers. So we've had undertakers, we had 2 shopkeepers. So what else have we had on here? Let's find out, let's carry on down the street. We are 234 Fields New Road. So where this J.J. Harrison Engineers is now was the other side of the undertakers which occupied Chatterton News. And then it made up of 2 buildings here, and this is where the numbering system goes a bit wonky. As I think 248 is gone now and 246 is now, but we'll have a further look further down there. There's a bit of missing number gaps here to the next terrace. Yeah, so it goes from 246 to 232. So there's a bit of a missing number gap there, and that never existed. Here we are at the junction of Stott Milne Street and 202 Fields New Road. 202 Fields New Road was never a business that we know of in 1916. Then around 2009, or just actually in the 2010s, it became Salon 202. Which is now, it was a private residence beforehand. So yeah, let's join you further down. Right, we are now at the junction of White Street and Fields New Road. So then that roundabout sign was 172 Thomas Bridges, or Bridge, Drapers. Then opposite of White Street where the grey building is with the rooms to let sign, and that was 170, and that was Edwin Stansfield, and that was a shopkeeper. And then the one with a blue stone archway, which we'll actually go a bit more closer to, after the grey building, was Eli Jab Charnley, a fried fish dealers. So we've had drapers, we had shopkeepers, we had hairdressers, and we had 5 fish dealers. So let's find out what else we've got down here. Yeah, and that's the site where that White Street sign is, and on that overground is the site of 172. It was demolished. I don't know what made it to be demolished. Was it for the construction of this pesky roundabout here, but no one uses? Right, we're located in Sunnybank 1894 built terraces, and these have all got, just give me a second, and they've all got sunshines in their doors all the way up here. That's because it's called Sunnybank Terrace. And then just here what we're coming up to is this junction of Ramsey Street and Olive Tree Cafe, which is just here. This was a vacant unknown shop in 1950s. Then it was a vacant shop during the early 2000s and 2010s. And then in 2020 it opened as Olive Tree Cafe. And then on here you've got a post box on the side dating from Edward VII reign. Number 130 was Albert Mills, a shopkeeper. Then you also had Mona Mills and Ramsey Mills behind here. And then this is in the Stanley Terrace, built the first ever terrace to be built on here in 1881. Which predates that 1893 date, but them addresses used to be postal addresses. So Sunny Bank, Potty Terrace, Stanley Terrace, it was all postal addresses back in the day. 90 was Mrs. Matilda Ashmore's shop, as she was a shopkeeper. Right, that's the end of our tour of Fields New Road. I hope you enjoyed it. It is work in progress at the minute, as I've not worked out the formats on how I want to do these tours. So if it is a bit rubbish, bear with me. And also, if you can help me at all with any trades and businesses which operated on any major route in Chatterton at the minute, preferably, that's where we're focusing at the moment. Ideally I'm looking at businesses what was on Thompson Lane historically. The shops at the corner of Field Fox Denton Lane, and then anywhere else in this local area would be really appreciative. So it's going to be a working project, but we'll see you on the next street tour. Ciao for now.